All right, we have some fantasy football. Week 10. Dean Esty, you're back. What's up, my friend?
Much crazy games this weekend. Bears won with 17 seconds left. That was crazy. We got the Minnesota Vikings beating the Detroit Lions. We got the Panthers beating the Packers. It's brutal. Yeah, a lot of upsets this week. Vegas is definitely happy this week with all the upsets.
I knew it was going to be windy in Green Bay. I didn't know it was going to be that windy in Green Bay. It was crazy. A beach ball went flying into the field, and I was just like, man, it's hard to throw the ball. I wish I bet the under, before I saw it. And it kind of, whenever that happens, the bad team is up for an upset. It's like it evens the playing field a lot, and that's what happened in Green Bay. Injuries happened to Green Bay. We'll get into that. That's kind of tough. But my Bears are sneaking up on you, Dave. I'd be careful, my friend.
I know they're actually I was kind of impressed. I thought they were going to blow that game, but then they came back and that Colston Loveland touchdown at the end. I was shocked. Yeah, I was like, I got to give it to them. They've been playing better. Their defense still is not good.
No, it's not. We're still without our best corners, though. They've been out. Stevenson's horrible. I don't know why people like him. But Gordon and Johnson, man, they've been out almost all year. Gordon's kind of been out and in, and Johnson should be coming back here in a week or two, I'm thinking. So, I'm hoping that it's a little bit better there. The defense is like a gambling defense. They try to jump routes and stuff, and they can get smoked or they can do good things. It's kind of like that interesting bend, but, try to attack.
Don't break,
defense. Yeah, they do tighten up a little bit in the red zone, but they also get smoked there a little bit. But they're trying to pick the ball and they're jumping routes so they can get smoked. But then at the same time, you got to be happy with what they've done if you're a Bears fan. And you got to be happy with the coach, Ben Johnson. It seems like he's really changed the culture there. They're still not a winning team. I still have them as kind of an averagey team. But, they can do some damage. They'll just, when they step up against big competition, they'll probably get beaten, just like you saw against the Ravens. But I'm happy for what they're doing. But we have some bye weeks, don't we? Oh, Dave, I forgot to mention, Devin Singletary, 8 carries. Tyron Tracy, 5 carries this week.
Oh, no, that was a shocker to me as well.
Oh, it wasn't a shocker. I told you. It was weird. They were getting their ass kicked, though.
Split evenly the carries. Like, they were both, I think, Singletary played like 54% of the snaps, and Tracy played 46%. So it's kind of right down the middle. I definitely thought Tracy was gonna get more carries, but yeah, I was pretty shocked. You were right. I give you that one, man.
I was right. I'm wondering if it was because they were just getting beat and they want to get another running back injured too. So that's kind of possible. But I do think that Singletary is more involved in the offense, the running game, and the whole offense more than people thought. So I think he's definitely worth a pickup if you haven't yet. Once you know our buys.
Yeah, definitely. Cincinnati Bengals. They've been red hot lately scoring, but their defense is just as bad. Just one of probably the worst defenses in the league right now. So they're not winning many games because of that. But Joe Flacco, get him on your bench. Jamar Chase, who's been red hot since Flacco took over, get him on your bench. T. Higgins, he made a ridiculous catch. I don't know if anyone saw that. Yeah. He reached over the guy, caught the ball, and brought it in. It was such a ridiculous catch.
What a waste of 2 receivers, man. What a waste of 2 goddamn.
But you definitely get those guys on your bench. Noah Fant, Chase Brown, they're not really fantasy relevant right now, but if you have them, you get them on your bench as well. Then we got the Dallas Cowboys. Their offense is struggling tonight. They're making the Cardinals look like a freaking all-pro team tonight. It's ridiculous. But, definitely get all the Cowboys on your bench. CeeDee Lamb, we got George Pickens, Dak Prescott, Javonte Williams is having a breakout year. Dak is actually an MVP level type year, except for this game and last game. He's kind of struggled the last 2 weeks. I don't know, defenses might have found what to do against him now, just put pressure on him maybe. But, definitely get them guys on your bench. Tennessee, I don't think you're starting many people on Tennessee. Pollard maybe, Spears, Cam Ward. I don't think you're really starting Cam Ward, though. DK, who's actually come on, Shamir DK. He's actually been looking really good.
Deep leagues.
Kansas City, that's going to be the big one. What's that?
Deep leagues, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Kansas City is going to be the big one. Rashee Rice, who's been on fire since he's been back. Patty Mahomes, who's looking more like an MVP-worthy candidate again. Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy. Pachenko, but he's hurt. And then Hunt, who's actually been coming on. He's borderline probably starter right now. But those are the buys this week that you got to get those guys all on your bench right now. Only 4 teams on buys, so it's a mild bye week, not too bad for buys this week. And you got 3 teams really 2 teams that you really not probably starting many guys from. So, but you got a couple major teams in Kansas City and Dallas who got some offensive firepower that you definitely have to get on your bench.
Definitely an average bye week. 4, definitely average because 2 is low, 4 is medium, 6 is by Mageddon. Let's go to key injuries. Tight end Cole Kmet had a concussion for the Bears. Kind of led to what Loveland did at the end of that game, which was freaking awesome. Such an exciting end to the game, yet I don't think the Bears should have been there anyway because they pulled back that Edmonds pick 6. There's no reason for them to do that. You can't see that he was touched at all in that video, and they took it back and let him in. That blew my mind. Tight end Tucker Kraft, Dave. Sorry about that one. Tore his ACL after he had a massive game against the Steelers, and he came out early, and it really, really affected Matt LaFleur's offense. So we'll be talking about that one in a little bit. Wide receiver Matthew Golden was ruled out with a shoulder injury, so that was big. C.J. Stroud, a lot of quarterbacks getting hurt. He had a concussion. He never came back in the game. It was an early concussion, too. Puka Nacua was banged up, but he was held out due to precautionary reasons. I guess he could have went back in. And wide receiver Kayshon Boutte injured his hamstring and was ruled out of the Patriots. And quarterback Jaden Daniels, as we all know. That was the nasty one this week, Dave. Down by like 30 points with 7 minutes left. He's playing and hurts himself for the season. Same team that RG3 got hurt, same yard line, same stadium, same team. They're playing the Seahawks when RG3 got hurt. Yeah, isn't that crazy? You get the same yard line, too.
That's crazy. I didn't know the same yard line. I knew they're the same team, but I didn't know about the same yard line. That's crazy.
Oh, dude, insane against the Seahawks and everything. Could not believe it. That's some bad karma.
Yeah, a couple other ones.
Yeah, go ahead. Anything I missed is what I was going to ask.
Yeah, Aaron Jones, shoulder injury. He's week to week right now, so he could still play. And then we got Brian Thomas Jr. injured again. He's probably one of the biggest disappointments this year with an ankle injury. Travis Hunter with the knee. He's done probably for the year now.
He came out before that happened in practice.
Yeah, so that was on Thursday, actually. Yeah. So, but that's just still of note, though. So just make sure you know that. And then not really. I think you got most of them. It was the biggest ones were the Daniels injury and the Tucker Kraft. That's huge. Oh, Christian Watson actually, he's in concussion protocol too. He had a concussion during the game. So that was just brutal for the Packers, man. The receiving core is just decimated by all those injuries. So a couple of IDP injuries too, but nothing of note. No really big people. Smarji Perine too, another one, ankle injury. He was ruled out against Chicago. He was coming on the last couple weeks. So, but other than that though, so who we got for players trending up now?
Well, let's go to waiver wire, Dave. Why don't we? You start with some waivers. We don't need to go too deep. Just who do you think is going to help us this week?
Sounds good. Marcus Mariota for the Jane Daniels injury.
For sure.
Tough loss. He's probably out for the year, so he's going to be a starter the rest of the year. So it's a very important pickup. I definitely blow some cash on that for your free agent bidding if you can.
Yeah, because he's still going to move the ball for sure. It's still a pretty good offense with Kingsbury as offensive coordinator.
Yeah, definitely when the receivers get healthy too. McLaren's still been out, but McLaren was out again this week too. And then Luke McCaffrey got injured in that game as well. And then Marshawn Lattimore too. They were banged up too in that game. It's just like the Packers. JJ McCarthy had 3 TDs this week. If anyone dropped him by chance when he was out, I'd definitely scoop him up. And then we got Geno Smith, who actually had a good week. You can definitely scoop him up. 3 TDs this week as well. Davis Mills for the CJ Stroud injury. And then we got Luke Musgrave for the Tucker Kraft injury. He actually looked good when he came in. Of note, he was the higher draft pick, and he was supposed to be their tight end of the future back in the day, but then he got hurt and Kraft took over. So it could be a reversal of fortune now where Musgrave kind of like blows up a little bit the rest of the year now that Kraft is out. He's always the better receiver, supposedly, in the past. I'm going to say Devin Singletary. I hate to say this, but Devin Singletary. Isaiah Davis, we kind of touched base on him, so I'm not going to go too much into that. Terrell Jennings actually had a good game this past week. We all thought it would be Trevon Henderson, but with Ramon Stevenson out, Terrell Jennings actually had a 3-yard scamper for a TD, and it looked pretty good as well. So kind of under the radar guy. And then Monagai and Harvey, both guys who got a lot more carries this past week. Monagai was a beast this past week. No one could tackle that guy. He looked great, actually. So if he's still out there, definitely pick him up. Watson, who I've talked about, and Pierce. And then definitely Torrey Horton. This is a big pickup. If Cooper Kupp is out again, this guy had 2 TDs, and Darnold was looking his way like a lot of the night, actually. So Horton, the rookie, actually looked really, really good. So definitely pick him up if he's out there. That's pretty much it. And and the last but not least, Colston Loveland.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
I like that one actually as well. So yeah, I know it's your bear. So, and Harold Fannin Jr., in case anyone during the bye dropped him, I really like him. Him and Mason Taylor are coming back from their bye. So if by chance someone dropped either one of those rookies, they've been up and coming. And Theo Johnson had a TD this past week too. So definitely look at him.
Just for that run from Colston Loveland last week, he deserves a minimum 6 targets next week. All right. You got to get him in against the Giants. Luke Musgrave is huge. I think that's massive. Yeah. I love what
that's going to be a top pickup this week, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I would start Luke Musgrave over Colston Loveland, to be honest with you, because that's going to come back at some point too. It's going to be more of a split, but I think Colston Loveland might be the tight end one soon for the Bears. Romeo Doubs with his big old helmet protector on, grab him for the Watson and Golden injuries. Wide receiver Demario Douglas was big. If Booty's,
oh yeah, he had a great game.
So I like him. Even the Bears, Olamide Zacchaeus has been used a lot for the Bears. He also has some running plays every once in a while. 8 targets for Zacchaeus, man. He's kind of sneaking in that offense a little bit. Josh Downs for the Colts was big with 10 targets and a TD. Chris Rodriguez had 12 carries for a washed-up Washington. It's hard to trust any running back for Washington.
I was talking about that. And Downs actually has had 3 TDs now, 1 in each game, actually, since he's been back. So I like that call, definitely. For that
My nasty sleeper, Alec Pierce, had 13 targets and over 100 yards. But unfortunately, you didn't see the end zone. And the same thing with Monagai. I already said to pick him up before, so I'm not going to do it again. But Monagai had like 190 yards rushing, and he didn't see the end zone. It was kind of a bummer to see Brown score late in the game.
I know. He vultured it from him. I was like, come on.
I know.
Let the guy score.
It was a shame. It was definitely a shame. Tight end Dalton Schultz had 8 targets for the Texans. So let's move into sleepers, non-starters, trending up for week 10. This is the last time I'm saying it, but Oronde Gadsden is like the 5th best receiver right now in fantasy. He's a starter after this. So the last time I'm going to say start him against the Steelers, he's going to eat. Tight end Dallas Goedert against the Pack is going to eat too. He's not a bad choice coming off the bye. Colston Loveland against the Giants. I like Dylan Gabriel, believe it or not, Dave, this week against the Jets may even be a look if you're desperate. Maybe you're a CJ Stroud owner or a Daniels owner and you can't get Marcus because some other prick picked him up. You have to go with old Dylan Gabriel. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy against the Jets could slap. Bryce Young against the Saints is big. Rico Dowdle against the Saints also. And I think he's just the starter, and Chuba Hubbard's kind of secondary now. He kind of lost his
job. Chuba didn't give me any carries. Chuba only had like 3 or 4 carries. Dowdle looked great. He was running over the pack at will. At least he looked really good, actually. And he looked good before that even, too.
How good is Ted McMillan, Tatoria McMillan? He has been fantastic and a great draft pick for the Carolina Panthers. Got to play him against the Saints too, Dave. Keon Coleman against the Dolphins for the Bills. I got Jameson Williams against the Commanders. That's a revenge game for the Lions, playoff revenge game. They're also going to be kind of salty after losing to the Vikings, so they'll have a big game. Wan'Dale Robinson against the Bears too. You got to play him against the Bears secondary for the Giants. That's who I have. Who do you have for sleepers, non-starters trending up?
I like RJ Harvey. Actually, he's been scoring touchdowns his last couple of weeks. He had another touchdown this past week. He's still the second guy there in line, but Dobbins, I think he's slowly taking Dobbins over there, though. I like him. I like Troy Franklin against that poor Raiders D as well. I like some of the guys you said, too. I like Loveland this week. I like Monagai, too. I like both those guys against that poor Giants defense. They got one of the worst pass defenses in the league, so I definitely like that matchup. I like the Bills receivers against Miami this week, too. Shakir and Coleman, they've been borderline starters probably, but I like them to break out this week against that poor Miami D. I think JJ McCarthy actually has a good week against Baltimore. Baltimore is getting some of their starters back, but they're still suspect still. Last week against the Bears, they got lucky on a few plays actually. So, and even this past week when they won too, they had that fumble recovery that after a fumble right on the own 10 when they're on the own 10-yard line. So they kind of, the defense is looking better, but I still think McCarthy can carve them up actually through the air. Their secondary is still a little bit weak. I do like Bryce Young too, exactly like you said. I like Dwaddle too. I think he's definitely a starter now. He's definitely trending up. I like him going forward as well. I like Davis Mills if he starts against the Jacksonville defense. The Jacksonville defense is probably mid-tier defense, but I think Davis Mills could do well against that defense. And then I actually have to agree with Philly. Green Bay's banged up on defense too. We got a few starters that are banged up on defense as well. So I think Jalen Warren actually could have a good day against the Pack. After Dwaddle kind of shredded us last week, I think Warren kind of actually. I'm sorry, not Warren. Barkley and Bigsby both had big weeks, so Bigsby would be my sleeper there actually.
Okay, let's move into busts.
All right, some busts. I don't like Pittsburgh against the Los Angeles Chargers. I think Chargers defense has been playing better, so I'm downgrading A-Rod against them. I don't like Washington against Detroit. I know Mariota is starting now, and their receivers are banged up too. So I'm definitely downgrading Mariota. I don't think I think he plays decently, but I'm definitely downgrading him against Detroit. I don't like that matchup for him. I do not like Jacksonville Jaguars against Houston. Houston proved against a good Denver team that they are a legit defense. So I definitely believe in them now. I don't like them against Jacksonville. I'm sorry, other way around. I don't like Jacksonville against Houston. So I'm downgrading Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. I don't like either one of them against that tough Houston D. Do not like Miami against Buffalo. I think Buffalo's defense is still a little suspect, but I think they're playing better and better. So Tua's been struggling. Tua had couple of good games, but then he struggled last week against again. So I'm definitely downgrading Tua this week. And then I don't like the Vegas against Denver Broncos either. Denver Broncos, one of the top defenses in the league. So definitely Gino's not going to have a good week this week. And Genti, I don't think has a good week as well.
No, I agree with a lot of those. Throw in Love. I don't think he's going to have a great game against the Eagles.
With all his receivers hurt, I actually have to agree with that. Even though I'm a Packer fan, I still have to agree. Philly's defense is probably top 10, and with all his hurt receivers, he's going to struggle, I think, a little bit.
The Eagles made a lot of moves, too. They got a lot of talent coming back here. They made a lot of trades somewhere. You got to be worried about that. Josh Jacobs could be sus, too. Trevor Lawrence, I agree with for sure. J.J. McCarthy, though, I have him as a bust. So, Dave, I don't like J.J. against the Ravens. I think that he's too young. He's just going to, he had his great game. Now he's going to have a bad one. Aaron Jones, too, against the Ravens. Aaron Rodgers against the Chargers. I don't like that so much. I think the Chargers are going to kind of put it to them. Now, the Chargers also have offensive line issues now that Bolt's out. But, I mean, they dealt with that already a couple times this year. Ramondre Stevenson against the Bucs is bad. I don't like that either. You already said Genti against the Broncos. Agreed. Brock Purdy against the Rams. If it's even Purdy, who knows what's going on there. I mean, we don't even know why the hell Kyler Murray's not starting, but then you look at Jacoby Brissett carving up the freaking Cowboys today. There you go, man. Brissett is – then they just stripped the ball from someone, too. Jeez. Cowboys got it back, but lucky Cowboys.
Yeah, Brissett's actually – if you look at his last 3 games for Brissett's actually played really, really well. They've lost like 3 close games, too. Yeah, so he might keep starting. You never know, but I wouldn't be shocked if he did, but you got Murray there who's paid a lot of money, but still – Brissett's actually been playing really well.
They might part ways with Murray. We'll see. Brock Purdy, Marvin Harrison against the Seahawks too. That's a tough one, Marvin. I like Marvin Harrison tonight, but against the Seahawks next week isn't that good. Brings us to our nasty sleeper, Dave. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going Bryce Young for the Carolina Panthers. He looked good against the Packers. He didn't have any touchdowns against the Panthers because Waddle was running the ball so well. But I think it's the Saints and their poor defense. I think Bryce Young has a great game against the New Orleans Saints.
I agree with that 100%. I'm going to go with something really nasty. It's a guy I haven't mentioned in a long time. It's Dalton Schultz, the tight end against the Jaguars. Because I think Davis Mills throws to him a lot. I think that's one of his kind of safety valves. And Schultz gets ignored a lot unless Mills is in, and Mills is going to throw to him a lot more than Stroud did, in my opinion. I don't think Stroud makes it back to this game. I think Stroud is going to be set out a week from his concussion. So that's what I think, Dave. And that's a nasty one for you, my friend. Anything we missed?
That's a nasty one. I like that, actually.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you have any questions for us, feel free to tweet us at The Oddsburgers. Email us at info@theoddsburgers.com. Have a great rest of your week and go get some winners.